Hey there folks, welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man Legacy Collection. We're playing Mega Man 4. And I am in fact coming back to this despite the train wreck that was the Ringman stage. I have not put that video public yet. I have not heard the feedback for that one yet. Had I waited for the feedback from that video, I might not have had the strength to finish Mega Man 4, much less the Mega Man Classic series for the NES. But I do, in fact, intend to finish this fucking thing. That was bad, folks. That was very, very bad. But the Dustman stage, I have a strange affinity for the Dustman stage. I don't remember anything about it except that the visuals were kind of like this bleak industrial area. And I remember the Dustman music. And it has a strange association in my mind with a game called Stationfall, which I have been intending to Let's Play for forever. Occasionally people even ask me about it, because I mentioned it when Let's Playing Planetfall. Planetfall was an Infocom text adventure where you are playing as this kind of... It's a little bit of the Roger Wilco-style comic relief. Oh, he's like a janitor in space, and it's the future, and it's space, but he's not very glamorous, is he? And you end up surviving, although that's not animatic either. You have to solve a puzzle or two to survive the initial crash landing, but you land on a planet, and you have to, like, find a way off. And it featured Floyd the Robot as one of the most memorable sidekicks in the history of the video games of that era. And then Stationfall was the sequel to that. And Stationfall is set largely on a derelict space station. It's kind of falling apart and depressing and bad. And I have this strange association between those two games because I think Stationfall was the PC game I was trying to win at the time that I owned, and Mega Man 4 must have been a rental while I was in the midst of, take a break from the puzzle action of Stationfall to exercise my 8-bit skills. So I've got this weird connection between these two. And it'll be interesting to play Dustman stage again after all these years, and to spend the whole time thinking about Stationfall, the text adventure for Infocom. But even though he's Dustman, basically his whole level takes place in a, I forgot about these enemies. I believe this is our introduction to these guys. They will be thorn on our side for the rest of the series. God-awful start here. Already smarting, like, it took me a while. It's like, stepped away from, oh, you guys respawn, huh? Okay. Stepped away from the game with, that horrible failure in the Ringman, stage. I have this vague memory that Dustman's stage wasn't super easy, but that Dustman himself was not one of the tougher robot masters. I did not slide, damn it. I jumped. The hell, game. Oh, well, okay. Well, there you go. I'm giving up on the Mega Man series forever. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm done. Like I said, I've forgotten that because I just beat Ring. I tend to have one of these videos where there's not enough lives left to actually get through. There you go. I was rewarded for, like, not even displaying anything resembling proper gameplay tactics. Oh, come on! No, it's all happening again! It's all happening again! With me. Leave me alone. I just want to stop you guys from destroying the world or whatever it is you're doing. Oh, they start jumping up really high. But they don't... Or, like, they'll eventually do that, but they don't always... Because I was like... I thought the pattern was I just, And those guys are just annoying, the shield guy. I guess they're probably... Later on, they'll probably be placed in such a way that they're not... They're more than just annoying, that they're deadly, but... They'll knock you into... They'll knock your block up, but you can knock up... Oh, I should have used Rush Coil to jump across that. I wonder if there's anything interesting for doing that. You're probably worth a shot of Rush Coil anyway. Or however many it takes. There was probably nothing on the other side of that gap. I mean, it's later Mega Man games where you start really seeing hidden stuff. Although, there was a... It wasn't exactly a hidden path, but there was certainly an optional path to get an E-Tank in Brightman stage, which I'll probably be using going forward. Ooh. Are you guys going to stay put, or are you going to disappear? Interesting. Oh, they do disappear after a while. And then the game starts slowing down. Guys, just stop it. Just stop it. I've been through too much. It ain't easy being a Mega Man. You were gonna... Oh, no respawning. This is not Ninja Gaiden for the NES. I briefly considered playing Ninja Gaiden for the NES after playing the Ninja Gaiden Sigma. Oh, thank you. They're guy whose name I forgot. I briefly considered, like, hey, I'll follow up Ninja Gaiden Sigma with Ninja Gaiden for the NES. Then I'll play Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. Then I'll play Ninja Gaiden 2 for the NES. Then I'll play Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. Then I'll play Ninja Gaiden 3 for the NES. And then I thought, I can't beat the fucking Mega Man games without having conniption fits. Like, I did beat those games with original hardware back in the day, but those days are over. I apparently am not as good as I was back then. I'll deal with that. Oh, wait a second. Is there a thing going on here where shooting these are going to affect how far down they... Maybe not. But there's definitely going to be something going on here where I don't want to have the floor rise up underneath me more than I was expecting. But I was thinking, oh, is somehow this responsible for how far down these crushers can go? And no, it's not. Surely at some point there must be coming something where I can get automatic death from getting crushed. Otherwise, what's the point of this? Meanwhile, I'm really enjoying this music. It is making me nostalgic for Station Fall, which maybe I should be playing instead of this, because... Let's put it this way. I might get some people who are familiar with Station Fall, who are like... But they're not going to respond to my death by saying, haha, you suck, because it's not really that kind of game. Yeah, I'm not quite figuring out what the challenge of this is. I'm shooting all these things kind of in this weird compulsive behavior, but there's no actual... It's not like the eggs in Gemini Man stage where I'm going to get something for it. Hopefully that doesn't respawn. Oh. Thought I'd screwed it up. Thought it really screwed it up there. Okay, I did screw it up. So I finally got to the part where you can die, huh? Great. Got another one up for me, buddy? No? Okay. Fair enough. I mean, there had to be something coming. And this is that classic Mega Man design. There's really nothing challenging or difficult about this part. It's just kind of introducing you to here's what's happening. You don't want to proceed until you've made it safe. But these little things don't come back. So So I just need to be a little bit more careful about whether or not I've actually cleared the path. I was having a hard time, I shouldn't have been difficult, I was having a hard time visualizing whether or not I was going to get killed by that. And, I was killed by it. So that's the thing. That comes all the way down. Yeah, I can't stand safely under this thing. Ever. I have to get all the way through. Because I can't... Gotcha, because I can't... Gotcha. I thought maybe I could make it to where it was safe to be directly under that thing, but there was no way. So you just have to hurry up and get through it. I mean, you're just kind of annoying enemy. Not sure what the bits of junk in the floor beneath us were about. That guy took some extra hits to kill. Interesting. Since the end may be near. Well, I got lives in reserve, so let's actually see how we can do against him with his regular old pattern before we switch to the well-earned ring, whatever it is. Oh. Have to stand directly... Oh. Oh, he's got a suction attack, huh? Stop sucking, Dustman. Not that hard to resist either. Ah, he's mixing it up now. Hey, I'm gonna beat him with without using his weakness on the first try. Well, this would be good for my confidence after the disaster that was the Ringman stage. I could use a bit of an easy victory. Especially when he just jumps in and does the suction thing rather than jumping in and shooting his blast, which at least conceivably would have been difficult to avoid. You started sucking just in time there, buddy. That time you didn't suck enough. Or maybe you sucked just the right amount. Okay, well I feel a little bit better now. Got a robot master stage in under my belt. Not on the first try because I literally slid to my death instead of jumping when I entered the stage with no lives in reserve. And I got Dust Crusher. Oh, regular Dust Buster. No special mobility weapons this time, though. But that's okay. Who needs special mobility weapons? We beat Ringman's irritating jump section without them. Because I finally freaking remembered that you can use the slide. And it's not just for falling into the first pit in the Dustman stage anymore. So, with that video that took about a quarter of the time it took to beat frickin' Ringman, we can say goodbye to Dustman. We managed to dust him off. As a matter of fact, I forgot. Okay, I'm going to extend this video a little bit by talking about an anecdote I meant to describe during the Dustman stage. I don't necessarily always have really crystal clear memories of my own early life. I don't know if I used to and I screwed them up with too much drinking in college or what, but there are anecdotes I remember from my own childhood. And then, like, there's people that I've, like, kind of remembered the face and I kind of remember the name, but I'd never be able to look them up now. because I moved around a lot as a kid too, which is every couple of years we moved. So I think there's people who like, oh yeah, they remember their friends from elementary school, but that's because they were also their friends in middle school, high school, etc. But I do remember in middle school that I had a math teacher who was very like theatrical, kind of nerdy, but he would like he would make a big show of stuff and make a big production. He'd have a lot of like lame jokes, and he had this really fluffy mustache. And I remember he was like, before there was like Bill Nye the Science Guy, he really did feel like a like zany TV science show host. I guess they had Mr. Wizard, although I always thought Mr. Wizard was incredibly dry. But anyway, I remember this teacher, and middle school science, that's a tough class because you start getting into, like, especially with chemistry, you're getting into some fairly complex topics, and you have kids that just don't give a shit. And it's tough to really get their interest. And so I think this guy was like this really zany performance he would do. And he knew that none of the kids thought he was cool. Everyone thought he was a total gork. But if he could at least engage them a little, he was doing his job. That's how I always figured his approach was. But I remember being in his science class in, like, 7th grade or so. And that there was a really nerdy kid who was like a friend of mine. I was a nerd in middle school. Go figure, the guy who's playing video games on the internet was a nerd in middle school. But I remember this really nerdy kid called Justin who's nerdier than I was. Like, the cool kids thought I was a dork, but I didn't jump out quite as far as Justin. It was like sort of the traditional TV nerd with the thick rimmed glasses and shy of girls and whatever. But he was a really nice guy. And I just remember that this science teacher, I have this crystal clear memory of this. This is the only thing I remember about my old friend Justin. This is the only thing I remember about that science teacher. But this moment that has enshrined itself in my memory and that I'm bringing to you now as part of the Dustman stage is that this science teacher who would go into these like silly little zany songs and little playlets and just stuff to keep our attention was like talking about something and he had a feather duster and he was explaining like something about static electricity, maybe, but at one point it's just like, look at I got a feather duster. Hey, look at this. I'm Justin. And he started like flapping the feather duster around on Justin's arm. He was like, Justin. And then Justin let out the loudest fart that I can ever remember hearing. And I just remember the look on his face because he literally like collapsed. Like he just put his arms together and slammed his head down on his arms and just was like face down on the table, like he was so ashamed, like he knew he would never live this down because it was middle school and people remember stuff like that. And I just remember the science teacher just looked at him with this look of shock and then looked at the feather duster as if to ask, did this feather duster just cause you to fart really loudly? And I now always associate Dustman and Justin. And I hope that you will too. Anyway, folks, I'm Serious GG. When we come back next time, we're going to fight whoever you fight after you fight Dustman. I guess we'll figure it out. If they're as easy as Dustman and it didn't really matter, like, I guess we could have beat Dustman first. This could have been our chance to jump in and break the traditional Mega Man boss pattern. Every game has one or two bosses that, like, even somebody at my skill level can beat without their, quote, weakness. Like, Toadman has a weakness. He has something that hurts him more than Mega Buster does. But had I realized it, and had this been, like, had I owned Mega Man 4 as a kid instead of Mega Man 3, I'm sure that I would have, like, jumped in and sequence break the game or some crap like that, and probably have beaten Dustman first. But who do we beat with Dustman's weapon, if we need that weapon at all? We'll find out.